Yo, what's the story? Sony ZV-E1 firmware. It is time to update it. The first kind of firmware that's promising slightly better steady shot is available. It's always kind of good to update the firmware, and there has been no reports anywhere of it breaking the camera. But I always feel when you're updating firmware, it can be a little bit sketchy, and this time around I'm going to be doing it wirelessly, and you can do it too. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then we're going to see how easy it is, right? It's going to be easy, yeah. Sony ZV-E1 is ready to go. It's just turned on. Now, using Sony's Creator app, this is something that is on your phone, or you'll have to download it from the Android store, the App Store, the Play, whatever it's called.
Wherever you get your apps.
That's where you're going to find it. Now, you connect the camera to that, like that's really straightforward. And to be fair, Sony's Creator app works really well. Yes, I am surprised it worked really well. So once you connect up there, you can control the cameras, you can see the camera. You're going to see an update option on the app. Hit that, agree, next, all of that jazz, and that's it. And then what's going to happen is we're going to be downloading the file, which is a pretty large file, so it's like 950 odd meg or something like that, so it's nearly a gig of a file. So that's going to download. So this is kind of a very similar process to the other way to update the firmware in the Sony ZV-E1, which we'll get into in a sec. Now, this is downloaded, so here's what I feel is just a little bit sketchy. Now the app is going to transfer the firmware update file to the camera, and on the camera screen in the Sony ZV-E1 you can see it saying, hey, I'm receiving a file, all is good. Except there was some kind of weird glitch where there's a problem with it receiving the file. Now, I'm not sure what happened. What I can say is my phone is connected to an extender. So I'm just going to switch back to my main network, my main Wi-Fi network, and let's go again. Now, I'm downloading the file again. I don't think I should have to, but we're just going to all go again. So this is, see, remember I said about sketch? So here we go, we're all ready to go. So maybe this is my fault on the wrong Wi-Fi network, even though that shouldn't make a difference. Anyway, so here we go, and as we can see, it is now, okay, it's all gone. I've sped that part up. It's gone directly to the Sony ZV-E1, great. And now it's going to start, what do I do now? Okay, there's nothing on screen, it's just gone back to the main screen in the Sony ZV-E1. Yeah, I'm sure there's instructions somewhere, but that's why you're watching this video. So what we need to do is bounce into, eventually I figure this out, you're bouncing into the menu option on the Sony ZV-E1, and you can go down to setup and version, and then because the file is transferred, you're going to see there's an update to 1.01. Press OK, update, all that jazz. You gotta have a fully charged battery for this. It won't even work, I think, if it's under 50%. And we're black screen. This always kind of freaks me out, and you get a black screen, so there's no progress bar, there's nothing happening on the phone. So the phone is gone at this stage. Let's put down nicely. So now we've just got a black screen. The only indication that I have that something is actually happening is on the lower left, we can see a red flashing light on the Sony ZV-E1. And it just seems to be a constant pattern. Every now and again, it just does a kind of a faster flicker, and that's it. So eventually, and this was, this wasn't a long time, but it felt it took forever to get to this point. It's updated and it's kind of rebooted and we're back. So I have no idea whether I have 1.01 or not. So what do we need to do just to make double sure that we're on the latest firmware is go back into the app, back to the setup, and then we can see we are on 1.01. Now, stabilization, the steady shot, I've seen it in other videos, and I really see very little difference, but it's always good to have the firmware up to date. Now, for whatever reason, if your phone isn't up to scratch, you don't have the app, you don't want to use the app, you can use the old-fashioned method that you can get from Sony's website, where you download it to your memory card, you put it into the memory card, and then you go to the update, and boom, it's going to update the firmware there for you. So there's not a lot to do with the settings and stuff like that on the Sony ZV-E1 when it comes to updating the firmware. The process is a little bit, I don't know, it's an expensive camera, and as we all know, firmwares can really break stuff, and then it has to go back to Sony. Yeah, anyway. So, speaking of settings, right, there's a video here for all of the settings that you need for the Sony ZV-E1. Get in there and you will master the camera in the short time that video is. I promise you, you're going to master it. And I promise you, just check out the video.